Year. Happy January 2019. Before we get started with your reading, I just wanted to say a few quick things to not waste your time. One thing is that for this month in January, I'm going to be doing all of your general readings in the beginning of the month, and then I'm going to be doing your bonus readings in mid-month, probably by the 15th or 16th. And I noticed when looking at the analytics on my channel that a lot of the time periods that people have been viewing these for is for like 10 to 15 minutes. And I know not all of you do that. I do have a loyal following now that actually watches these things all the way through. But for those of you that are wanting something quicker than this and a little bit more specific, I'm going to be putting out love readings separately and career readings separately. If those do well over time, I may start going into health readings as well, but that would break them up into about 10 minutes each. And so for those of you with short attention spans, you should probably be watching the mid-month readings. These readings, because they're general and in-depth for the month, they tend to be about a half an hour long, not including the beginning and end. Also, I wanted to say thank you so much for viewing these, liking these, subscribing, saying all of your wonderful comments. I read every single one, and I really enjoy the feedback and the appreciation, and I'm going to continue with this channel. So I just wanted to thank you and say how wonderful you guys are. And another thing is that if you would like to donate to my channel, which I surely could appreciate it, I've been doing this for about 6 months now, and I haven't really made any money at all off of this yet. It's a labor of love, so I don't mind doing these because I know that eventually this will build up where I'll have more people watching them and I'll eventually be able to make some money. But if you do feel like donating, I would really appreciate it, and the link is going to be down below in the description box. Also, the last thing I'm going to say before I let you go and not waste your time is that at the end of all of these general movies, there is a end credit section that gives you my email, says little messages from me, any information you might need to know about private readings. I did notice that I have been getting a few comments where people ask me if I do private readings. All that information is at the end credits, at the end of each video. There's usually music and some kind of a video that should be fun to watch. I also wanted to mention my daughter, because my daughter has been learning from me how to use Windows Movie Maker, and she actually has at least 0.5% influence on the end credits. So my daughter has actually been filming the movies, helping me pick out music for them, helping me put in the text, and helping me to go through the whole process. And so when you're watching the end credits, a lot of it is actually from my 11-year-old daughter, and they're extremely quick, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal to watch them. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Many blessings for the new year, and next will be your reading. Bye. Hello, Leo. This is your January 2019 reading, general reading. Happy New Year. This is for Leo Rising, Leo Sun, and Leo Moon. And so, as usual, I am doing a Celtic cross spread, and I'm using the Spiral deck, Spiral Traditional Tarot deck, for your general reading. And for clarifiers this month in January, I am using Brian Froud's Fairy deck, which is not a tarot system. This is a fairy system. It follows no real rules with this. So this is what they look like. I'm going to try not to get too carried away with details about these cards. If you want to know more about them, I suggest that you go and get the book and card set. They're extremely fascinating. Yeah, they're really beautiful. So, and this, you've got the Singer of Intuition. So your intuition may be awakened this month, or your intuition may be telling you something, or you're trusting your intuition more than usual. So, and then on the bottom of this one, there's the Princess of Pentacles. So it may have something to do with business or talents or something you want to learn, something you want to express. Trust your intuition with it. Okay, so I'm going to show you your basic. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I was going to show you your cards. Your central experience for January is the Ace of Wands. This is awesome. What is your challenge to that? Is the Nine of Pentacles. What is helping you is the Eight of Pentacles. At the root of your being, you are yourself. You have strength there. In the recent past, you have the Five of Wands as your best possible outcome. Very nice. You have the Three of Pentacles. In the near future, now this is interesting. You had these two cards come out together. I think this happened for someone else a number of months back. You have the King and the Queen of Swords together in the near future. And you right now are the lovers or at the crossroads. In your surroundings, you have the Seven of Cups. Your hopes are the Two of Pentacles, or fears. Your general outcome, very, very nice. You have the Empress. Your two outcomes are both threes. The Empress is the major arcana 3, and then as your best possible outcome, you have the Three of Pentacles. Very, very nice. So here we go. Before I get started, I just want to say that every single reading for January so far has had some kind of an amazing card as their central experience, or some kind of basic experience anyway, with the fairy godmother in this exact position. I don't know if it's been everybody. Everyone so far has had the fairy godmother in their reading. I think 4 out of 5 has had her in with the central experience in the same exact position. And statistically, this is bizarre because, I mean, it's normal for patterns to emerge or for several different signs to get a similar few cards, but this, in the exact same position for everyone, statistically, this is completely bizarre, or is a small miracle, really. Talk about synchronicity. So the fairy godmother brings blessings and breakthroughs and grace to anything that you are trying to do or get towards. In all the fairy tales, it's usually when the hero or the heroine has reached a point in their journey where they've almost completely lost hope and they're not sure if they can continue. And that's when the fairy godmother appears and gives them a magical tool or gift to help them reach their happy ending or continue their journey. And it's interesting. It's almost like for January, for the new year in 2019, it's like a convention of fairy godmothers is happening just right now, where they're all getting together for a huge party. It's like an annual fairy godmother conference that happens every year where they all gather together. It's pretty interesting. So your central experience for January seems to be that you are beginning a whole brand new path of action. You have the Ace of Wands with it, which is a beginning action steps of a major journey or adventure. Starting a new way of doing things, doing something completely new, starting something completely new that changes everything that you actually physically do in your life. This is normally considered the go for it card. It's like the old Nike commercials, just do it or just go for it. It's the go for it card. Now is the time to take action. Just do it. Don't think about it. And so whatever you have been inspired to start in your life, now is the time to start it and actually just do it. This could be creative. It could be with performance of some kind. It can be a lot of different things. This could be an epic journey you want to begin, or a new path of action in your life that inspires you and makes you feel more alive. And your fairy godmothers are completely encouraging you with this and helping you along the way with small breakthroughs, miracles, or gifts, that where this comes easily, it's not going to be difficult. That when they see you doing something, they're going to give you a lot of blessings to help you speed. I feel as though things are speeding up, or just there is nothing standing in your way for doing this, whatever it is. This can be a new passion. The Ace of Wands can be a new passion in your life. Could be a new passion as in a new person or a new relationship. It could also be a new passion as in something you would like to pursue or act on or do in your life that brings you a lot of joy. So getting things started, being brave, and taking action is the best thing you can do, and your fairy godmother will help you. So, what is your challenge? You have the Nine of Pentacles with Epona's Wild Daughter. Epona's Wild Daughter has to do with despair, depression, getting to the end of a karmic cycle where you just can't do a certain thing anymore. And it's through going through that rite of passage of going through the deepest part of the grief or pain or difficulty with a particular thing, you break through out onto the other side where that no longer affects you anymore. It's a deep, almost painful transformation. You could also look at it as a healing card of this is healing. Sometimes when you're healing, obviously you're healing something that hurts. Otherwise you wouldn't have to heal anything if you weren't hurt, or if you didn't have some kind of a wound you have to heal, or a illness that you have to heal. With this healing, difficult healing, because when you're starting the healing process, it's extremely painful, and it involves being extra gentle with the pain or the wounds in the very beginning until they start healing. And then once it starts healing, it becomes easier for it to heal the rest of the way. But this has something to do with feeling a lack of support, possibly, where your challenge is you don't want to do this on your own anymore. You've already proven to yourself that you are capable of creating what you want to on your own, but this isn't necessarily something that you want anymore. You've already mastered this. It may be that you feel as though you don't really have the support that you need, or the help that you need, or the companionship even that you need in growing these things. In the picture, it's a woman that has learned the art of creating a big, beautiful garden all on her own. Maybe in the beginning she felt as though she needed other people's help in order to manifest something. Oh, okay. My dog is on the ground chewing a bone, so if you hear weird noises, that's what that is. And where was I? I put it someplace. Where did I put it? Oh, okay. All right. Just so you know, creaking is going on for my daughter who is watching a movie with headphones on. She can't hear us at all, or me and my guides. I guess that's us. And then my dog is chewing on his bones, so there's probably going to be some background noise. I can't really help it. She starts school again tomorrow after the Christmas break, so I'll finally have some extra time to do these without her being around. So anyway, let's pick up where we were. Where were we? This Nine of Pentacles is a 9, which means fulfillment, or mastering something, or coming to the end of a cycle with something where it's the culmination, or it's the graduation of an experience. And in her case, she, once upon a time, a long time ago, may have felt as though she needed other people to help her in order to manifest things. And because of this, the universe, or her guides, noticed this and made it almost impossible for her to have any help. So eventually she gave up on trying to get help, and she just decided to do it. And along the way through this process has realized that she could completely do it on her own, and she didn't really need anyone's help after all. And that's how she learns how to be self-sufficient with manifestation, which is the 9 of Pentacles. But again, she has realized this. She has already done this. She's accomplished this. But it almost seems to me as if you have mastered this to an extent now where now you are lonely in this position and you don't need other people in order to manifest, but you would love to collaborate and work with other people on manifestation. Doing it on your own anymore isn't fulfilling as much anymore. And you may have even gotten to a place where now it's depressing. It's like you've created all of these beautiful manifestations for yourself, but there's no one around to share it with. And so this is making you feel depressed, or it's making you aware of some wounds or some pains that you have concerning this. Maybe you are tired of doing things, manifesting on your own. You know you can do it, but is that really what is fulfilling you? And so this, realizing this challenge, healing this challenge is your challenge for your central experience. If you're going to move forward and take new action in your life with the aid of your fairy godmother, what do you want to move towards? It's most definitely not this anymore. You're done with this. And even if this doesn't have to be looked at as a romantic thing. You could be surrounded by people. You could have a partner at home. You could have people that you work with. It's just what you want to manifest. You feel as though you are doing it on your own too much. And you want more collaboration from other people. Either that, or it could be flipped the other way around, where your challenge is realizing that you can manifest on your own and you don't need other people. So it's one or the other. What is helping you? You have the 8 of Pentacles with the collective of pixies. And both of these have to do with work. The 8 of Pentacles is about diligently, patiently, step by step, moving through the process of working on something. This could simply just have to do with your work, as just a basic, simple way of putting it, or this could be about pacing yourself at taking things one step at a time in order to have the best results. But either way, it's definitely about focusing. It's focusing on getting things done or on creating things. And the collective of pixies also work. They work in a group that is non-hierarchical. They're all equal to one another. And the work that they do is dance. They dance together to help the plants to grow, to help the world to turn, to help the seasons to change, to help everything to continue or to evolve or to move forward. And this takes cooperation on their part. It takes also joy in what they do. The collective of pixies is all about fully enjoying what you do for work, or how you approach work is to sing while you work, to whistle while you work, to enjoy your work, to make what you enjoy into something that you do for a living. And also cooperation from others and group work, as in with production of anything. Like this man who's pounding away at the pentacles all by himself, kind of like the Nine of Pentacles, who has created her big beautiful garden all by herself. Notice in the corner of the Nine of Pentacles, there's a little snail. And to me right now, this is letting me know that you are feeling as though you could do this on your own by yourself, but it would take so much longer to do this by yourself. If this man pounding on the pentacles had 5 or 6 people pounding away at the pentacles with him, the pentacles would pile up in one day. With him by himself like that, he may be able to get 1 or 2 pentacles done per day. And it may take a week and a half before he can go through all of those pentacles. But if he had help, if he had companions, if he had people working with him, production would go a lot faster, or production, manifestation would go a lot faster. And so what is helping you is to either find a group that would be willing to work alongside you in knocking these things out or manifesting things. And that would save so much time and energy, and it would also make his life much more fulfilling and inspiring. When I was growing up as a teenager, I used to take painting classes in the 3rd floor of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. And I could have been at home painting by myself, but there's something about being in a big room with other painters where all of us were at our easels together, and we got to play whatever music we wanted on the stereo to listen to while we painted. Sometimes we would ask each other for advice. Do you think that I should put more leaves on this tree? Do you think that this teapot that I'm trying to paint looks symmetrical enough? It takes feedback when you're perfecting your craft, or you're learning more about your craft or what you do, to have similar creators around to bounce ideas off of, to ask questions from, to have them step back for you 15 feet or so to let you know if you have a central of focus and in your painting. Whatever your work happens to be, and this doesn't necessarily have to be your work or your way of making money, it very well could be, but it can also just have to do with manifestation in general. Of manifesting what you want, is what is helping you is to ask other people for their opinion, to include others in the process, to see if there are other people around you that have similar things that they're trying to manifest, where you can band together and come up with better ideas, or to help manifest things quicker. If someone was trying to build a eco-village from the ground up, obviously it's going to get built and be created a lot faster than if there's just a core group of maybe 3 people trying to build it. If you have 15 or 20 people all working on it together, you can have your small eco village up within maybe 6 months, at least the basics of it. It's something like that. So this is what is helping you, is to realize that you don't have to be alone, and that time is over with this. Now it's time to collaborate. And also networking. If you're building a business, it can go a lot faster when you have people speaking well for you, or advertising it for you, or bringing it to other people's attention for you. It's definitely a group thing. So at your core, you have strength, and you have the singer of connection. And again, this is saying a similar thing to me, where you have done a lot of work on yourself. You've accomplished a lot when it comes to your character, how you express yourself, what you've done with yourself, managing yourself, staying positive and balanced with yourself. I'm looking at strength here. And so now that you have fully, or as much as you humanly can, have mastered yourself and are at a good place with yourself, you are ready for connection. And even if you look at Lady Strength, her and the lion are connected. They are almost the same being. They are working together. They read each other's minds. They anticipate each other's movements. They're completely in tune with one another. Otherwise, there's no way in heck that this lion would ever let her open up his mouth or close his mouth unless he trusted her. And there's no way that she would be able to do that if she wasn't brave and if she didn't have confidence that the lion won't bite off her hand, because they have a relationship with one another. They're connected. And so this is truly what you want. You want a strong connection. You want strong connections. You want to be connected now to a greater vision, or have more connections that are deep or involve mutual trust. You know, when I look at Lady Strength and her lion, they have mutual trust. He trusts her and she trusts him. And so this is truly what you want at your core now. You are dying for this. Not to say that you don't have this. You may very well have this. And you've reached a point now where you fully embody this and you fully appreciate this, and you don't take this for granted. You know how to handle connections now. You know how to appreciate connections on a very deep level. I'm not saying that you don't already or you haven't in the past. It's just it's heightened now, or it's more intense now than it was before. And you're also connected to yourself more than ever, where you know yourself extremely well. You're connected with all of the different aspects of your being, not just the surface aspects of your being. So in the recent past, it looks as though you had some kind of a conflict going on. This could be external conflict involving other people or situations, or it could have been inner conflict, or it could have been both. This is petty conflict that isn't normally extremely painful. This isn't cutting, cruel conflict. This is more petty ego battle. I want to top, I want to be top boss here. And they're all competing with one another to see who has it in them to be boss. They're certainly not working together. There's a lot of ego clashes and battles, or just, some kind of conflict involving people's wills. And this could have involved you. It could have been around you. It could have been inside of you. You know more than me because this is your past. But with the iris of the rainbows here, this says that you have been trying to focus on hope that these conflicts can be resolved, or that the conflicts will pass and that they will not stay. It's okay. Life is full of petty conflict, or small conflict, or clashes of wills. And that's not, these things need to happen in order to clear the air every now and then. Arguments are necessary every now and then. As long as they don't seriously hurt one another. It looks more like they're sparring. And so you have had a lot of hope that this will pass. Or you were hoping that it would pass. Or that people would start working together. Or that if this has been internal for you, where you've had internal conflict, you have been hoping and staying positive that it will integrate, or you will come up with a solution internally to this, or that things will start to become clearer and that things will get better. And I would like to believe that things did get better, especially with the collective of pixies as what's helping you. These are almost total opposites of one another. Maybe one of the reasons on why you've been struggling with feelings of isolation or having to do things all on your own is because people haven't been working together. And it's like you took a step back from it and said, well, I'm certainly not going to engage in that. So for now, while they're all duking it out, I'm just going to get stuff done on my own. That's one way of looking at it. But if you look at these two, they both have to do with groups. In the Five of Wands, they're competing against one another. Their egos are clashing against one another. Each of them wants to prove how they should be a leader in the situation. And then you have the collective of pixies, which are dancing together, working together, and creating things together in total cooperation. And so since the collective of pixies is what's helping you now, I feel as though whatever this is has passed, or you have moved on from it and it's no longer around. And now it's telling you that what's helping you is to realize that you can have this. You can have people around you that work together and that uplift one another and support each other in what they're doing. And so as your best possible outcome, you have the Three of Pentacles and you have Lasgana, who is the Frog Queen, the Swamp Queen. And she rules things like adventure and excitement and trying new things and seeing what's there. She finds buried treasure and hidden treasure in the swamps by exploring and then finding it. And so with the Three of Pentacles, this is saying your best possible outcome is to just enjoy yourself and have fun with your talents. Do something fun. Go out for a karaoke night and sing your heart out. Or go out dancing. Pick up a hobby that you fully enjoy that makes you feel like you're expressing yourself. You guys are Leos. You live to express yourselves. You live to have fun. You live to develop your gifts and be appreciated for them. And this is so Leo. She's in the spotlight. She's on stage. She's been showered with roses because she was brave enough to put herself out there and to just fully be creative and try new things. This could be acting on stage. It could be organizing something that's fun, like a social event or something involved with theater or the arts or just something fun. This could be a party. This could be a festival. This could be a gathering. This could be something where everyone can share their talents. This could be a talent show. This could be a collaboration. This ballerina is all by herself, but she may be the star of the show. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have other dancers. This is reminding me of synchronized dance troops or dance troops. And you know, when you go see a play or you go see a dance, there are scenes where everyone's dancing together, and then one dancer may break away from the other ones and have more of a spotlight on them. Because just like the painting analogy, everything that is visual or appealing for other people to see usually has a center of focus that brings your eye to the center of it. That way you can see how the whole thing plays together. So your best possible outcome is to put yourself out there and try new things and have adventures and have fun. Get out of the house. Go try something completely new that you've never done before. Go on some kind of an adventure. And if you are not the dancer or the performer, you may want to go have fun by going out and seeing a play or seeing a dance troupe perform. Dress up. Dress up, wear your nicest Leo clothes. Make yourself look good. Go out and have fun. Go see an amazing play and then hang out afterwards around tea and have a social gathering with other people where you get to talk about what you thought about the play. Just something like that. That's your best possible outcome. That looks like a really nice, fun outcome. And also by trying new things and experimenting or seeing what's out there, you may become aware of certain gifts that you didn't even know you had, that all of a sudden you realize you were meant to be a dancer when perhaps you never danced before. This is an analogy. I'm not saying that all of you are dancers, but something like that. You become aware of a talent that you have that you weren't aware of before, and this is something that instantly draws people's attention to you, to your skills, or you feel held by your skills, with your skills. So this this could have to do with a relationship. This could be a relationship that you choose to be in, that you find that starts, or a relationship you are already in. If this is a relationship, you and your partner, if you're in one already, are seeing more eye to eye in the future and more unified in what your goals are or how you communicate in the relationship than ever before. If you have had problems in the past, and this could even be with other people, this could be a relationship because it is a king and a queen, they're a natural pair, and you also have the lovers in here. So this could be a relationship that you're in which case you guys understand each other. You've done a lot of work together on communicating properly, where now you guys know how to communicate with each other very well, where you're both truthful, where you're both able to come up with solutions together. You're on a similar wavelength or page when it comes to your ideas, what you want, how you express yourself verbally, understanding each other's minds, combining your minds to problem solve any problems that may be around. This also to me speaks of integrity. This pair is extremely integral. They're extremely integral with things like truth and purity in how they communicate, and also with being able to make decisions. They're very decisive. They execute decisions together. And this is reminding me of the past where there's been fighting, possibly. This looks as though things come to a resolution, or you're able to come up with solutions to whatever the fighting was about. Or you decide together to turn a new page and communicate differently than before. Or to not suppress how you actually feel or think, but actually really speak your truth with one another. And proper listening as well. This can also involve other people, not just relationships. So this could be problem solving in groups. This could be attracting people to you that you see things similarly with, where you understand each other's minds and are able to communicate well with each other. This can also just be you too. Or you may have some guides come up in the near future that are actually a couple. You may meet a power couple that show these qualities that are acting as guides for you or protectors of you in the near future that you can ally up with, or they may be able to give you some much needed information or advice or lead you in the right direction. or to give you some wisdom about something. That's another option in here. So, with it, you have Sylvanus, which is the unveiling of truth. Notice the main fairy is holding a mask. And underneath the mask, there's a glowing fairy that you can barely see what they look like, but it's a female fairy with a crown of light coming off of her head, which is truth. And then there's another fairy that's holding the sword of truth, and that's reminding me of, obviously, their swords of truth. This is another sword of truth. But this is specifically unveiling the truth. You know, when we wear masks, or when people around us wear masks, it's hard for us to see them. It's hard for us to see who the person behind the mask is. But when this main fairy, whatever, Sylvanus, when he lifts off the mask, it's called the mask of truth, by the way, in the book. When he lifts off the mask of truth, it becomes apparent on what the reality or the truth of the situation is, and you can clearly see what was hiding behind it. And so it may be that you had some kind of a perspective going on in the past, either with you or others, where it wasn't clear on what was happening, but in the near future it becomes very clear. And not necessarily in a negative way. It just means you're seeing things more clearly than ever before. And you possibly may be seeing yourself more clearly and others more clearly than ever before, where you can handle the truth. What was that? You want the truth, you can't handle the truth. And this is your other clarifier, which is himself. And this is an aspect of the divine masculine, or the divine shaman. He is completely in his integrity. He knows exactly what to do at any given moment. He has integrity because he has the whole tribe's needs in mind. He is willing to sacrifice himself when necessary to ensure the safety of the tribe or the family. This is the divine masculine, which seeks to protect above all else. And if that means having to sacrifice yourself in order to protect, he's willing to do that. He is full of primal passion and primal yang energy that he hones to a fine tool, as in the sword of truth, in order to see things at the very core. He has core values that he's willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that everyone is good and that things are being done properly in integrity. This is reminding me of the collective of pixies again. You may be in a position in the future where you defend a group, or you defend people that need defending, that are not in a position to be able to do that for themselves. This could be I just got something random about a class action lawsuit, or speaking up on the behalf of a whole group of people concerning justice, on people's voices being heard. This is fighting for social justice, or for a group that hasn't been listened to. That's one option in here. But it just seems like you're on fire in the near future with speaking your truth, coming from a place of total integrity, going towards and having the wild yang energy to be able to manifest what you want or go after what you want. There may even be a lot of passion in the future concerning a relationship too. So, speaking of, you right now have the lovers with the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. And there are the pixies again. There's the collective of pixies. And this is the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. She is the fairy of love, all different kinds of love. Personal love, non-personal love, unconditional love, all types of love. Familial love, friendship love, romantic love, passionate love, all of it. And notice how brightly she's glowing. She has a huge smile on her face. I remember the book saying that when pixies have been eating fairy chocolate, when they kiss you, they leave freckles. And so if you happen to have a whole lot of freckles, that means that you've been kissed by a whole lot of pixies that have been eating chocolate. Fairy chocolate is way better than even human chocolate. But when you feel a surge of love, like maybe you feel a little touch of a fairy kiss on your cheek, you'll notice when you feel love, because all of a sudden you'll find yourself smiling. You'll feel as though you're walking on air. Your heart glows with warmth, and you feel as though you're shining and you're filled with ecstasy. And even at the top of the card, you can see the wild beast who's smiling with flowers in its fur. This is akin to the music that soothes the savage beast. Or love can work miracles. That even if somebody is grumpy or annoyed, when you decide to give them a hug or kiss them on the cheek or show some sort of love, that instantly lifts up moods. It makes people smile when perhaps they were scowling before. It softens them up and makes them less susceptible to being savage. And this kind of reminds me of Lady Strength with her lion. Because she respects the lion and because she loves the lion, he is docile, and he allows her to do things that he wouldn't let anyone else do. And that reminds me of the smiling beast at the top. And with the lovers here, this is telling me you may be very much in love right now, or you may be falling in love with someone. Someone may be falling in love with you. It definitely feels reciprocal to me. It may involve some kind of a choice, though, because the lovers is the crossroads or the choice. It may simply be something like choosing to trust and to go with the relationship, or to shine your heart without a fear of it being destroyed or hurt or not acknowledged or not honored. I feel as though it's okay for you to make this choice and let your heart out. That it's okay for you to shine. No one's going to try to take that from you or dim your shine from this. But it may involve a choice somehow. You may both choose to be together. Something. If this didn't, this obviously has to do with love. Choosing to express love, choosing to go towards love. Where is it? This could be the renewal of love too. This is reminding me of a new passionate path in your life, or a new passion that your fairy godmother is helping you with. If your fairy godmother is helping you with this, you can trust this. You don't have to be scared of this, or you don't have to feel as though it's going to be false. You should allow yourself to shine. And also, love. This also teaches unconditional love too, which is love without conditions. You can't truly love someone if you catch yourself saying, I would love you more if you did this, or I don't love this part of you. There is no such thing. When this is true love or real love, there won't necessarily be conditions there. If there is something about this person that you don't like, that may be why you're having to make a major decision. But I would just say, shine your love. Try to not have so many conditions on someone else, just like you wouldn't want someone to expect you to be something that you're not. You can't expect someone else to be what they're not. But I'm not necessarily getting that in here. I just felt like somebody needed to hear that for some reason. But this just looks blessed. So, yes. In your surroundings, you have the Seven of Cups, which is emotional confusion. And not knowing what to choose or what to do about a situation. This can be not knowing what to believe if you have a whole lot of people all telling you different opinions that they have. Notice behind her, she has the one cup that she truly longs for, but she can't see it. Instead, she's trying to settle for these cups in front of her. It may be that the cup behind her is on its way to her, she just doesn't see it yet. Or it could be that she's forgotten about it, or she thought it was gone when it's not. But this just looks not satisfying. Let's put it that way. She's not satisfied. She's confused. She's not sure what's going on or what to pick or what to do or what to choose. That's kind of reminding me of the big choice you have to make. But with it, you're the only person so far that's gotten this. This is the soul shrinker. And this is a sad story because, you know, if you look at this fairy, the soul shrinker, you would think that they're a bad fairy. You would think that they're evil, or they're mean, or they're ugly. But the sad story about this fairy is that this fairy was once beautiful. This fairy once looked just as beautiful as the fairy who was kissed by the pixies, with her giant smile on, beaming smile on her face and all of her glowing fairy love magic and beauty. But this fairy was a bodhisattva, where this fairy decided to go into service. And the soul shrinker's service in the beginning, and still is to witness all of the ugly things that people say about one another. And by witnessing and being present for those moments, every negative thing that someone thinks or says about another made the beautiful bodhisattva uglier and uglier and uglier. By witnessing the ugliness that people sometimes have towards one another or even towards themselves, has made the soul shrinker more and more discouraged, more and more hopeless. But every time that we say something wonderful about another, every time that another says something wonderful about us or appreciates us, the soul shrinker gets prettier and more beautiful and less ugly. And so the soul shrinker is not a fairy that speaks ill of others. It's a fairy that has to listen to it, has to be present for that. And so your other clarifier is the bodacious bodak, which is a fairy of people or energies meddling. This is the meddler. This is the fairy that's got to get in everyone else's business and try to fix situations, or so he would say. He would say he's fixing situations or helping, but he's really not. He's really making things more and more confusing, more and more entangled, more and more complicated. This is the person who says that they're well-meaning, who comes over to help you, but instead ends up breaking everything in the room, supposedly by accident. It's the saboteur type of energy. And so what I'm getting from this, and I'll show you the third one because I was like, okay, this has to be going someplace. This is your final clarifier, is the maiden, which is a brand new, beautiful beginning. The maiden's a baby. She's a brand new, beautiful beginning. And this is reminding me of your Ace of Wands. Brand new, beautiful beginning. that your fairy godmother most definitely is helping you with, or giving you blessings towards, or helping you to bring into being. Something about you doing better, or something about you glowing, may possibly be bringing about several different strange things in your environment. You may have some people be jealous of you because you're shining. You may have some people that don't want to see you happy, or that are speaking ill of you, or you've noticed that are surrounding you. You want to get away from groups that are petty. What is helping you is to find groups that are cooperative and mutually supportive. But it seems as though in your surroundings you're not quite there completely yet. You may have not that you don't have your dear friends, or your collective of pixies that are there for you that you can work with, but somewhere lurking and meddling in your surroundings, you've got people that don't have your best interests in mind, or are speaking ill of you, or are trying to meddle in the situation, or they're trying to talk badly about someone else to you that actually you love. You may be in love with someone that is possibly in the very beginning stages, or you want this to continue to grow. But people around you are having to put their 2 cents in about how this person is bad for you. They don't like this person is blah, 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 blah. But really, look at who's talking badly here. And that should be your guiding. If this even applies for you, this feels really specific, so it may not apply. But keep your ears open. Keep your eyes open to what's around you. You may have some saboteurs, or some people that really, the reason why they're like that is because they're jealous. The reason why they're jealous is they feel as though they don't have that themselves. And talking ill of other people, or even thinking badly of other people, if it's prolonged, is one way that we do curse each other. But the only way that that curse really works on someone is if you accept it. And so if this is going on around you, don't accept this, and certainly do not do this yourself. Don't fall prey to this, don't listen to this, and don't be this. And remember that this may be one of the reasons on why you have such integrity in the near future, is it's almost as if these two come in together, unified, to toss these things out of the collective and say, well, if you can't cooperate like the pixies, then you need to get out of here, and we will make sure that you leave. Because this is not only affecting you and your surroundings, this is affecting other people too. Yeah, be real mindful, and don't let this sort of energy stop you from being able to have this brand new beginning. If anything, if this is going on around you and your surroundings, it's time to get a new surroundings. It's time to get rid of your old surroundings completely and have a new surroundings. Start new energy with what surrounds you that is empowering and uplifting. And your hope is to communicate about what you truly want, and to make up your mind on what you really want to manifest. It may be you're juggling a lot right now, or you have several things going on at once. You may need to, as your hope, settle in on just one of those 2 pentacles, or make a decision on what you are going to go with, and then communicate it. That is your hope. Or your hope is for no more waffling with communication, or to come up to remember what you think. Don't listen to other people and what they say and take their opinions on as your own opinion. You don't really know, do you? You need to figure out your own mind about things and make up your own mind about what you see, so that you can communicate and make your choice and move towards manifestation of what you truly want. Who cares what other people say? If this is what you love and this is really what you want, then you need to express that and do it. And so, as your general outcome, you have the fairies of the future with the Empress. And so, very shortly, as your general outcome, you are headed onto a much more fruitful, creative, amazing, loving, beautiful future. But that takes your initiative. You need to step in the right direction. If you look at the fairies of the future, they are in a parade. They are parading forward. They're not standing still. They're moving forward together as a group in order to bring about the Empress, which is love, passion, creativity, abundance, wealth, creativity at its zenith, at its fullest. Feeling satisfied, feeling comforted, feeling like you belong and that you are your natural queen or king or royal self on your throne, enjoying your life with cooperation and surrounded by her fairies. This is Mother Nature, the Empress. This is Mother Nature. This is Gaia. This is the earth that we live on in all of her fruitful glory and all of her beauty, surrounded by her loving, beautiful fairy friends. These are her fairies. These are her workers. These are her children, her many, many children. So Mother Nature, surrounded by her own fairies, moving forward in a creative, beautiful way, can only mean good things for you in the future. Just remember who you are, not that you don't, because you do have yourself at your core. And you want true connection. And anything to do with this, feel okay to unleash your lion a little bit and knock that crap out. So, I wish you all the best. Many blessings to you, and I shall see you soon. Hopefully that helped you guys, or made sense at least. Let me know in the comments if you feel like it. Okay, bye.